Where my girls at?
Taking the spicy red, keep it locked in.
Where my girls at?
Keep on watching while the beat keep knocking.
Where my girls at?
You love the flow, it's the lady show.
Where my girls at? Yeah. Where my girls at?
Everybody please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Gurus, there's been no love lost between Roc Nation and Nicki Minaj. Even going back to the last dust-up during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, there were some in Wayne's camp who think Wayne was looked over on purpose. Now Nicki Minaj is on the attack once again, aiming at SZA's camp, beefing with SZA's management over social media. Nicki is saying SZA is no way on the same level as she. So in short, gurus, is this beef ridiculous or is it a beef that is needed?
I feel like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's uncalled for. It's like, I feel like it was just a whole bunch of miscommunication that just went awry. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, it's like, oh, I was talking about her, but I really wasn't talking about her. But then she took it as though you were talking about her, you know, meaning Nicki Minaj. She took it as if you were, SZA was talking about her. And that's it after that. You know, you can't play with Miss Nicki, love. You cannot play with her feelings. Go in on the camp, okay? So, yeah, that's how I feel.
I do think the beef is ridiculous. I think it's one of those places where, to me, it sounds like somebody's trying to get relevant. You know, so keep something going, like the male rappers do every once in a while. Pick somebody who's hot, be disrespectful, right? Put some things out there, because Nicki also is like the queen of like manipulation of the media to get that attention. Yeah. So just like that Jim Jones moment. You're going to try, you know, it might be weird, but you're going to get something drummed out.
Yeah, you're going to get what you're looking for, which is the attention. So.
And your name is going to be like, and when they say no, it's like, what's better than no press? Hey, like no press, right? Mm-hmm. So bad press is better than no press.
Yeah.
Negativity is better than nothing. Never not hearing the newbies or these young people without your name on their mouth. Your name is on their mouth now.
Yeah.
There could be a chance that Nicki Minaj is looking at SZA like collateral damage, because she got this thing. You know, for all the hip hop heads out there that's going back years, there was a verse that Nicki Minaj and Hov was on. They both was on the same song, and there was a couple of artists in between them. And in Nicki Minaj's verse, she said something to the effect of, "She will shoot the crown off the king's head." And when she said that, there was a lot of people thought that was aimed at Jigga. And, you know, and from that point on, there was a lot of, you know, beefery going on. And I think this stems back to the 2000s.
Unnecessary drama.
Yes. It's unnecessary. But you know what? Where it's unnecessary drama, it's very necessary for whatever rap culture is to keep to keep things going, to keep mouths talking about the culture, because that's really like what rap beef is, from like the inception of it is battle, right? Battle against this, battle against that. You say this and I say that, and it's the thing that supposedly, I guess, infuses excitement into the space. You know, as long as it doesn't get too negative.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw all of this nonsense going on, I just scrolled right past it, because what are we talking about? What are we talking
exactly
about? What are we talking about?
Like Nicki Minaj started comparing, and she said something about arenas, and I pack arenas and you don't pack them.
And that's the thing, like Nicki does not give herself enough credit that she herself deserves. Stop putting yourself in mediocre freaking conflicts or freaking back and forth debates with people. You are higher than that, girl. And I'm not even a Nicki Minaj fan like that, but I respect her catalog and I respect her, you know, as what she has done in the industry. Like, you don't need to be going back and forth with these people. I feel like she's bored. So it's like, oh, I promise, you got to be bored. Like, there's no way you doing all this. You're bored, bro.
You're right. Because a queen or a king does not have to profess what it is that they do. Right? You don't have to say I'm a queen. But what I think is, when you see the train leaving the station, because this world is different now. It's really, really good. And these young people, the teens and stuff like that, they don't know. I had to play some of her older stuff for like video clips for the kids. So my daughter would be like, "Oh, I didn't know she gave it up like that."
Yeah,
She's
yeah, she was
feeling
giving
like
it
she's
up.
getting left. I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, and you can see it. And to be young and to have a catalog like that, and to have changed the industry to a certain extent, because she did with her type of music, bringing pop into it,
Yeah.
whatever. Because you can see a SZA performance, you can see a Cardi performance. How you looking at old Nicki stage performances with the dancers and Beyonce and this, you can see the influences go. But the way this world works right now, these young people, they don't know about anything. Whoever is doing it right now is the creator. They don't care. They don't know that you exist. So it feels like to me like a struggle, like a person that's struggling, like a old queen that doesn't want to really give up her crown to the next generation. Who's fighting to keep
But
it.
then let's piggyback off of that, right? You got Chris Brown that was around when she was around. He's still hot, okay? You got, of course, Beyonce. We ain't never gonna take Beyonce out of the talk. She's always gonna be mentioned. She's still relevant till this day. If anything, people praise her more than they will praise SZA or anybody else. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then for rap, of course, you have people out there. Creme de la creme is gonna say Nicki Minaj is the it. That's my girl. That's who I'm going. I'm not even a rap gal, and I'm gonna go for Nicki Minaj. You feel what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not a big fan of her, but her catalog speaks for itself.
See, but this is the thing, and I think everybody knows that. And you know what? Perhaps maybe Nicki knows that too.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying that it might be a little deeper than
it has to be something that we don't know.
Because at the end of the day, I think, maybe if we look at it from a different view, what if she's looking at it like SZA's just collateral damage on the damage that she want to do towards Rock Nation?
But is SZA with Rock Nation?
Her label person is connected to Rock Nation.
Her and the Meg beef now, I could get that. That shit was funny as hell. Okay. when Nicki and Meg was going, that was some good rap, scuffles there. That was some good beef right there. I like that beef. That wasn't a bad
I get it though. I get what you're saying. Like, if this is because I am hearing a lot of, seeing some of those sound bites like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna talk about everything that I know. Because I do know from what we've been hearing that Nicki was very upset about how the Grammys were moving, how the award shows are moving. And a lot of times when people are upset lately, like artists of color lately, when they talk about how these award shows are moving, what they're doing is tracing it back to Rock Nation, the $1 billion, the power, the manipulation, how people can supposedly buy this, buy that. And remember this whole beef that she had with Lotto. She was very upset that Lotto got the Grammy and she didn't get a Grammy. So
I remember that.
And the politics behind all of it, because if we know anything about right now, it's politics. Right?
Of course.
Right?
I'm gonna say this, but I don't want it to sound like I'm defending Rock Nation. But I do want to say there are people who find themselves out of the loop because they didn't perhaps thrive the way other people thrived in their career. Maybe they didn't, and this is true in the industry. This is true in any career facet that you look at. Rock Nation is at the top of the game right now. And there might be other people in the industry that finds themselves on the outer skirts of that. And maybe they had an opportunity and maybe they didn't take it for whatever reason. And now you have some upset people, because let's not act like right now there aren't upset people in this business right now. There are some very, very pissed off people in this business who are close to people that got serious money right now, who feel like they didn't get looked at or represented, or somebody didn't keep the promises, or that they felt like somebody should have kept. And so now we in a situation in social media world where we're seeing a whole lot of people, and I'm not saying that these people don't have a right to sue, or a right to be upset. But there is a certain remnant of people who maybe felt like this guy is successful or this girl is successful and I was right there. How am I not successful? Or how come I don't have the big checks? And maybe they should have had the big checks. But somewhere in the mix, something went awry. Now, again, that's not my defense of Rock Nation, but we also have to look at that as well.
Get over here!
For me, I think we do business different than other people do business. And I think how we do business, when we start doing business and what we're doing is capitalizing off of each other in a way that it creates a them and us place, it does make people angry. It makes people very angry because it's our culture and how we participate on it. We want to know that we're not getting taken advantage of in the same way we would if we did business with the other, because we expect that there. And so I think a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are angry. It's like looking at Haiti, right? Looking at Haiti and everybody at the top taking advantage of everybody at the bottom. Like you got the haves and you got the have-nots, and that's it. And it is like from my perspective, the emulation of power. Like you look at how power moves. And so people have that proximity to power. And so they do the same things that the others do to them, to their own people. And their own people get very upset. They get very upset. They get mad because why I'm not eating? Why we not all eating if we can? Why it is? I was listening to Joe earlier, and one of the lyrics was, "I'll probably make more money off your record than you." Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep this going, Amanda. There are people in the office space, right? There are people who are working this particular job, and everybody's in the center. It's like a conference room that they turned into an office space, and everybody has an office. Some people in that office is not going to be in the inner circle of what's going on. There are people in that office who are gonna beat people back just so they make it into that small circle, so they know what's going on, so they know the ins and outs, ultimately so they could get closer to the financial gains, right?
Yes.
The other people that's not in that circle is going to get mad, rightfully so. It's all about how you direct that anger too. Well, in this situation, we have and again, I am not defending, but we have to look at these dynamics. And so now you have a successful company who are getting shows booked, yes, for people that kiss their ass, yes, for people who are in that circle. And so now people are angry.
It's messed up, but it happens everywhere. That's just that's how life is, unfortunately. Like, that's what happens.
For people not to dissect that portion of it, you have to look at all the angles. You know what I mean? And, you know, in any situation, there's always going to be people on the outside and there's always going to be people on the inside. And people are beating each other down for that inside track. Beanie Siegel was telling Memphis Bleak about how Jay-Z and Dame was going to hold him down and do all of this different stuff when he went to jail. Meth turned to Beanie and said, "Yo, are you sure that this is gonna happen that way? Because all the clothes that you saying is yours is that it's Rockefellers."
I remember a time, right? Beans had his clothing line, State Property. We used to get clothes, boxes of State Property. So I'd look in State Property and say, manufactured by Rockaware. So I'm telling him as a brother, yo, bro, check your contracts and all that, make sure everything right. Like, because I see it's manufactured by Rockaware. I don't think Rockaware was making their own clothes. So how they making your clothes? Like, just as a businessman, this was like, didn't seem right. And this was at the time when he was saying, yo, I'm going to jail. I'm going to sign Freeway and the Young Guns, the Rockefeller. When I come home, they going to give them back the state property. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, you think business work like this? So I'm trying to tell him these things. Like, he looked at me. This was when I knew me and Beans the relationship wasn't the same. Because he was like, yo, it sound like you hating on me, fam. And I'm like, what you mean? He like, yo, if Jay your man, like you say, why you ain't got no record label?
And it's the but and Beanie may have looked at it like, yo, this is just from the streets. This is the 90 type dap. This is how we gonna move. And it didn't work that way for Beanie Siegel. And so, you know, it's a shame that things happen that way and people are trying to beat people. That's why it's always good to be down with people that you know have those type of ethics, have the type of ethics that will circle back regardless, just to make sure things is right and to make sure, you know, when I make it, you make it type shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a really hot topic for me because I got a whole beef, a whole beef with any of the situations that I've seen in our culture. If I'm looking at the way it was like this, cut, because I need to do something else. And everybody was just washed and gone. Dude took off, got $1 billion, but what about it? You got people in the hospital. Nobody cares. You had Black Rob in the hospital. Nobody cares. You had all these people dying in places, and nobody cares. So you was with that person because you thought that it was the love, because it looked like the love to all of us too. We was listening to that music like this is everything. And at $1 billion, you be in a hospital. Somebody can't even say for a tax write-off, let me handle your kidney this and your dialysis or something like that. Person who you made, this person that would care about you enough to say you the one. How those people got treated. Crazy. And it's just, it makes people mad. It makes people upset. It makes people like us who watch it go, wow, like, what? Like,
and that's another reason why a lot of these artists coming up rather go independent. They're not signing them contracts. They already see the games y'all playing. Y'all playing in people's faces. So guess what? We already got a following. We already got a crew. We just need the backing. So if we could find somebody else to do the backing, don't need you.
You're right, and you got to thank technology for that, because back then we didn't have the ability to do what they're doing right now.
You got to go to studios. You got to go to places and hand out your mixtape and your CDs and stuff like that, and stand outside of Hot 97 all day.
Because you ain't got no distribution. So you had to pander to all these other people so you could get distribution. Right now, they don't need distribution. They just put their music right online themselves. This will make your own following, put their music. Now they can learn a little bit so they can be more knowledgeable, so they don't lose money on a bigger level. But the fact that you belong to you, ain't nobody sitting here doing that to you right now. You making millions because of the logarithm, and making millions because of the logarithm when you got all the others, right, who did all this, who laid this groundwork, who can't make nothing, who's living check to check. If it's not a show, then they don't have to.
I don't know if you guys saw that Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson took to the red carpet, and you know, they took to the red carpet in a big way. And a lot of the talk that's been out there on the streets about Klay Thompson is that Klay Thompson really don't know who he's really dealing with, because they're saying that Meg Thee Stallion is a liar and she knows how to navigate the navigations, and maybe Klay Thompson doesn't. What's your thoughts around the red carpet of what you saw with Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion?
From the stories, from everything that I've seen, it's not looking good. She's not a good she's a good storyteller because she's a liar. Yeah. Ever since that whole her and Tory thing, I wrote her off. I ain't gonna lie. I wrote her off. I never was really like a fan of her like that, but she was growing on me because when she first started in the industry, she was coming up and doing her little rapping in the parking lots and garages, and she was doing her thing. I loved her at that time. Like she was like, yes, but it's like as soon as they got hold of her, boy, she just changed. She just changed to me personally. I feel like she just changed.
Yo, if it's a lie, it's a lie. And if it's a lie, perhaps maybe it needs to be fixed. And yo, nobody perhaps is going to trust her because of this situation. This man is locked up for 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel like the magic tricks, right? Hide the hand, do this, and he pull a rabbit out the hat. All these little magic tricks that have happened in this Tory Lane situation. It was about the Kardashians. It wasn't. Her friend did it. He did. She didn't. She did it. This. It was the foot. It was more than. It's too much.
Too much.
Of another hand someplace, a hidden hand that we can't see, doing too much on the situation, because it feels like the JFK assassination. We still don't know who did it, really. In 2025, nobody can say who shot her for real. Like, where's the real? Like, it's either somebody shot her or somebody did it. It's not that serious. Like, we already know. Like, how is it that one little tiny situation that happened in a Sprinter or a car or Uber right on a street with cameras everywhere and police showing up, nobody can know what happened? So the idea is that it's one of those, I plead the fifth. It's funny because my son said I plead the fifth because he heard it online. And I told him, I was like, when you plead the fifth, you're basically saying that you did it. Because you could say no, right? You could say I didn't, right? You could say I did not. But you didn't say I plead the fifth because that information might incriminate me. It is going to incriminate you. You know it. You know it is. Because you could say I didn't do it. It wasn't me. The truth can be right here in front of somebody's face. And people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I hear. But what are you saying? Like, what are you,
Right.
No, here. This is a pen. It's a pen. Is it really a pen? Is it black? What is black? What is white? What is it like? What? I want Ken to his light-skinnedness that make him a little clueless to what's going on. Because when I look at him, I feel like he don't even know what's going on.
He cleaner.
He looks like he don't even know what's going on.
He
Like,
more cleaner.
I think he think that is good for his image. I think that he think that, that the situation to give him more popularity. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think perhaps maybe he done thought it out the way Meg Thee Stallion think it out.
But you know what? When you put that TNA on the table. Oh yeah, well I got that. It feeds into the male ego, and especially the basketball ego, right? Well, I got that. Well, I don't care about this because I got that. And she ain't gonna treat me like that because I'm this dude. Because I'm this dude, that's not gonna happen to me. I can tame that. Okay, let's see how it works out.
Klay Thompson may be looking at her like, you know what? I could get my weight up. I can.
Yeah, definitely.
But he thinks that he's different. He thinks that he can control the situation. He thinks that he's special because he is Klay Thompson. But he just don't know when things go left, things could really go left. Tory know.
Left foot or right? Left foot stomp or right foot stomp? Left foot stomp or right foot stomp?
We reached a part in our show called your Q&A with the Lady Guru Show. And if you have a question that you would like answered on the show, keep DMing your questions to the Lady Guru Show Instagram page, and we will try to get you a response. Okay, here it goes. I'm married and a mother of 2 twin kids with my husband. Before my marriage, I had a beautiful daughter who was 5 at the time. We all live in the same beautiful house, but there's been an underlined problem. At this point, my twins are 7. My child before my marriage is now 9. Through the years, I've noticed different treatment from my husband towards my 9-year-old. He's harder on my 9-year-old than he is with the twins. I have had conversations with him about it, but every time he turns it around on me and makes it sound like unfair treatment is not happening. He makes it seem like I'm the problem. I'm scared that my daughter might feel that she's being treated unfair. My family is well taken care of. We live in a nice neighborhood, but I feel like crap every day because I love my husband and I want him to be fair. And I wonder if my daughter recognizes the difference in treatment. Gurus, what's your advice?
It's a shame to hear that insecurity is ruling the day. And it seems like that his insecurities, whatever it is, I mean, for whatever reason, he feels that, the twins are in some way better than her 7-year-old, 9-year-old.
9.
And, why are you insecure about that? You should be bringing that 9-year-old in. And if anything, you should be even, bringing her in the most to let her know that, that you are there for her.
For me, the thing is that the kids are not that far in age. The kids are very close in age, so there shouldn't be any difference of how you're treating them because they're not that far apart in age. 7 and 9, that's like the same.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the same. So because they're the oldest, you shouldn't have to feel as if, though, let me be harder on the oldest, unless you have reservations about the oldest. Whatever it is that you have personally going on with yourself or something transpire where you feel as if though you don't like that child. And you need to separate yourself at the end of the day if that's how you feel. Stop giving everybody else a hard time and you leave, sir. You go to your twins, how you want to take care of them and raise them, and you don't have to have a hand on my kid.
I think it's kind of primitive because I feel like it's it go like, I think as human beings, right? We have things that we do like other species on this planet. And then I think that because we are these higher beings, right, we should be able to elevate into other spaces. But a lot of people are just primitive. And so it's like a cat. Kittens from another thing is not going to be accepted over here because they're not my kittens, right? And so dogs, like that dog from another parent, like, from another what is it called? Like whatever it is not going to be accepted over here because it didn't come from me, right? These are mine. I protect mine. And it's that's weird because it's like on a higher level, you marry this woman that already had a child, right? At one place, you should have tried to, she should try to force the connection with her child first with you before she put other kids on the table, right? That's one space. But there's a place where it is, for me, you're supposed to be able to elevate to higher levels as a human being to understand that these are all siblings. Right? When you leave this planet, because we all leave this planet, they are something to each other in a different way than we are something to them.
Yeah.
And so you should be able to, in your mind, even if you want to be like, that's not my child because we don't know how the other father is interacting with that kid, because people like to do that, right? Well, that's not my kid. I can say what happened to my kid, but I can't say what happened to that one because they got a father already and it's not mine. Whatever that is, right? These are siblings. And life belongs to them, and they deserve to have people that they have connections with. Past parents being on this planet, because eventually, if the world works the way it's supposed to, we'll be going and they'll be here. They should be able to have that connection and live and have that support and being siblings and love each other equally. And it is very clear that if that's what he's doing, that the first one realizes it. You can't say, I don't know if she don't know. She know.
Yeah.
You know there's a difference. You can feel it in the conversation. You feel a difference. And you know that he don't love me as much as he loves them. And then that goes to a young girl growing up to be a woman to not feel loved by a person that's supposed to be a protector for her, even though it's not her real father. And who does she become because of what you're doing? Yeah. So, and it's sad that the mother doesn't feel that she can stand up enough, because at the end of the day, the same thing you said, like, you gotta go.
Mhm.
If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, then
Right.
you gotta know that you're the problem.
Right.
Because these kids need to grow up and be able to. Everybody needs to have self-esteem here. Everybody needs to know that they're loved here, loved equally, like
Yeah.
loved enough that you know that I love all y'all. Like love, to say equal is weird, right? But I love all y'all. You
Yeah.
get the love here. This is the loving space that you come out of.
Mhm.
Listen,
That's it.
I mean, look, I understand, you know, if we want to take it to a space like this, I understand the fact that, you know, everybody, you know, there comes a point where everybody wants to make sure that they are taken care of. You know what I mean? Like they want to make sure that their end is respected and their situation is definitely in football terms, the end zone. They want to make sure that they are there. I understand that. However, to down somebody else, you can make sure that that yours is in the end zone without downing somebody else. Like I don't understand that way of thinking. That type of thinking to me is very, very you know, it would make me think low of another individual because they don't understand. Like, yo, you're talking about this is one, you got two, you know, and she's a daughter.
It's primitive.
She's a
It's
woman.
primitive. It's like a caveman. He's like a caveman. At the end of the day, I gotta take care of mine. I don't care about yours because I'll make sure the mine is good.
Yeah,
That don't
like-
belong to me. That don't belong to me. That don't belong to me. I'm taking care of mine. You're primitive. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you found a woman that got kids already. So don't put yourself on the table. Don't put yourself on the table unless you're willing to deal with that first and understand that this is what you're doing is creating a family. You walked into a family.
Yeah.
When you walk into a woman, you walked into a family.
Yeah.
And so you walk into a family, you're just adding to a family. And
Yeah.
so you're adding to a family. And so I'm not disrespecting her because I don't know how this situation happened, but I do know there's other things that's going on at the table, right? If the other father participates, if he don't, well, he sends stuff for his kids. If that's the case, right? He send money, he send this, that kid taking care, I'm taking care of mine. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's very petty. It's petty. It's very, very petty. Stop moving in women ways, right? Tired of men and moving in women ways. It's petty.
Word.
If you're a provider and you a king and you a leader, you come through and you lead the kingdom. That's it. You're not
Yeah.
involved in petty conversations about, oh, you ate and you didn't eat. No, everybody eats because I think everybody eats. And then you command and you move in a certain kind of way and you get respect from everybody in your kingdom, right? He took care of me and he wasn't my dad. He was hearing me on it every day. That's the love you get when you pour into a child the way you're supposed to as a human being. You
Yeah.
get it. And especially as a man from a little girl that probably you hear her on her day to day. Her father ain't here on a day to day because you here with the mother. You here on a day to day. What is you doing?
And
Why
it's-
you not taking the higher level responsibility of understanding that what you're doing is raising a young queen right now? You walked into that. You walked into that, right?
Yeah.
That's your responsibility because her father might be whatever or this or that. It's your job now. You don't want the job, then don't walk into situations like that. Keep it moving and go do something else.
That's a fact.
Trash.
That's a fact.
Very
I'm
much.
calling him trash, even though I don't know him. Trash.
Yeah. That's not cool. When kids are involved, they're so innocent. Like they only want love. They're kids. They're children.
Yeah.
They only want love.
You
They
breaking a
only
little
want
young
somebody to
girl.
pay
You
attention
breaking
to
a girl. And you're breaking a girl. You're
Yeah,
breaking
for
a young
real.
girl.
For real.
You're breaking her
Definitely
when
gonna
you don't
grow
have to,
in
when you should be
resentment.
building her. When you have an
Right.
opportunity to build and you get it back, karma.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's okay.
That's right.
Definitely.
Get it.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, gurus, earlier last week, Barack and Michelle Obama had to knock down divorce rumors. The question is, when a couple or marriage is in high profile, other people weirdly expect more out of that couple than they do out of their own relationships. So why? Why do people do that? They expect something out of somebody else that they are not expecting out of their own relationship.
I guess people want to see things that are refreshing because they ain't experiencing it. So it's refreshing to see somebody else go through it, I guess. I don't know. Personally, I don't give a damn. Whether you're together or not, I wouldn't care less. But, speaking on the other people and how they may feel, it may be something refreshing to know that over the years they have watched their love and it's been so blooming and so, once again, refreshing to see and in office. So, now it's like out of office, we want to see you on vacation, loving one another and kissing and hugging and going to Santorini and yeah.
See, so Amanda, some women want more out of somebody else's relationship. They want more out of that man than they want out of their own man.
I don't think it's that they want more. I think it's just because they look up to them, so they expect them to be together forever, no matter what. But at the end of the day, they're a couple just like anyone else. They probably will try and stay together longer than a normal couple because they are in the spotlight and they do want to put up a front. But, at the end of the day, they're people, and, love isn't forever, even though we want to think it is. Sometimes it's not, and sometimes people put into situations where love outgrows each other, or, things happen where, you get, I don't know, you start to think differently of the person, I guess. I don't know. But either way, yes, we do look up to them. Like, they are like, the couple, and
Yeah, like they man falls short, but God forbid that the other person's man falls short. They talking about him like, oh, he shouldn't. Meanwhile, I don't know.
Because you know why? He ain't no goddamn Obama. That's why.
Exactly.
That's why.
You see how Obama. You see how
it was Obama, then it will be a different tune that you would be singing. He ain't no goddamn Obama, and I ain't no Michelle. So go wash up them dishes, take out that fucking garbage, and act like you know.
And you see how the thing about it is, like, this is where you see Obama come through. He's just so smooth. Like, you might like, and what they got also is they got the old school relationship.
Yeah.
They got the old school relationship that somebody will have 3 kids on somebody will break up, have like 3 mistresses, and you still ain't breaking up. You will not get divorced. You will put up the fronts
and take care of them kids. And take care of them 5 kids.
Thank you. And take care of your kids. And that's what it's supposed to be. And that's what you're going to do. And that's just it. Because we got lots of old school couples that's like that. Because I think what's missing in these relationships is like, I feel like people talk about longevity. But in a 40-year relationship, somebody got 5 kids. Somebody done lots of stuff. Those people have found a way to resolve stuff. But also, what was happening is that if you're looking at women didn't have lots of options back then, right? So it gets different when I can make my money, get my bread up. No, I don't have to tolerate extra kids and stuff like this. So it starts getting convoluted as it starts going forward. At the end of the day, some of them couples hold it down because, and they're dealing with lots of stuff. We don't know it. Right. You celebrating the 50th anniversary, big party, all the family members up in there. And people like, where that other daughter at? Where that woman at? Where that other? And then how about the funerals? Where all the kids and mistresses come out? Like,
that's a prime time.
Wearing red at the funeral. Okay, girl. All right. We know it's
why I'm not in the obituary. Why my kids ain't in the obituary.
40-year relationship.
I'm okay because I never told you I was perfect. I never put down nobody. I got my own flaws and my own faults, but I didn't do that. That ain't the kind of stuff you forget.
So, gurus, before the Sean Diddy Combs trial, there were many ongoing straight up lies about TD Jakes. There were reports of some people saying they saw TD Jakes at the freak off parties. People were saying that he was gay. Plain and simple, the internet came after TD Jakes. They came after Oprah. They came after Meek Mills. They came after politicians and many more. In TD Jake's case, he almost had to give up his church because of it. So, Gurus, what are your thoughts on TD Jakes and how he got dragged down into the terrible case that had no mentions of Pastor TD Jakes and had a not guilty verdict at the end of it?
I think the silence speak for itself.
Man, this guy, they crucified this guy, man. They said that they saw this man at a freak-off party, and now we know what the freak-off parties consisted of.
They said they saw him at the freak-off parties, but allegedly the white parties, daytime, had lots of people there. And there are pictures and documentation of people being at these parties because, like, for whatever reason, but being at these parties because these parties apparently had levels to them, right? There's a white party that's just like the Jay-Z luncheon.
Mhm.
It's a luncheon. It's a party to celebrate us on certain levels, and it's very exclusive, and only certain people can get in. This. So let's show up to Studio 54 because we got invited, and it's exclusive, and we know that other people can't. I don't know, like, and we don't know all of like who was involved in stuff later, like when it got dark, right? But in the daytime, the parties were celebrations supposedly of excellence. So lots of people at their parties. So it's like to deny that you were there. You were there. We don't know to what capacity you were there, but you would think that if you were close enough to a situation and got PR people and this, and that, and all kinds of lascivious things are going on at these parties that lots of us know were going on anyway, why would you even go? Like, because there's places we just don't have to be associated with things that are not us. Because Denzel was like, nah. You hear a story about the Denzel? I went to a party. I saw something I ain't like. I was like, nah, that's not for me. You'll never see me again. This is. All right?
Well, look. All right, so my thing is, all right, so let's go to the Meek Mill situation. And let's
Very
talk
close
about
together,
how people...
dressing like twinsies, but dressing like twinsies, having the pictures of y'all dressing the same outfit.
Listen.
I'm sorry, I had to say
Yo,
it. I'm
but-
sorry.
In a pool, like you cooling off your booty. That's
Yeah,
wild
daddy.
work.
Yeah,
That's
daddy.
wild
Happy
work.
birthday, daddy.
You
Happy
in the
birthday,
pool
daddy.
looking so uncomfortable, like you just went through something so serious. Like it was serious. Like
But ain't this, let me play devil's advocate. Ain't this all social media angling?
All right, y'all ready for this?
Yes.
I've been waiting to say this story.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's party.
Jada Kiss and them are on their promo run.
Mm-hmm.
I, like the creative person that I thought I was being, I messed up. But I thought I was being creative. I hit Puff. And I was like, yo, they're doing a whole press run.
That was for the Fab and
Kiss album.
Yep.
They're doing a whole press run. You come to the show. So he's like, all right, cool. It's Groovy Lou's birthday. We're going to go celebrate with y'all. Boom. Now, that part, you forget. That's why the candles was there.
Right.
It was Groovy Lou's birthday, who is a Rastafarian. The furthest thing from anything
Groovy.
flagrant.
Yep.
Right? Fab, Jada Kiss, and Diddy arrive at the same time. Remember, Diddy's a surprise. So my friend, Mr. Lee, who's Dominican, what's his slang? Dottie. Yo, Dottie. That's how you talk in Dominicans because they don't want to say Poppy. Poppy is a Puerto Rican thing. You understand what I'm saying? So he sees Diddy. He's like, yo, Dottie, you got to put you over here, Dottie, because we got, and we don't want them to see it. So Diddy got that in his head now. Dottie. Now he just keying Dottie. He think that's what we saying. No, that's not what we're saying. It's just what Mr. Lee is saying. That's it. That's it. So we walk over and he goes, yo, what's up, Dottie? Fucks the interview up immediately. Yes, it does. All right, cool. Puts us in a, but here's what y'all don't know. When he's saying to Fabulous, yo, why don't you party with me no more? Look at us in front of Fabulous. That's not Ciroc. Fabulous had a whole Coco Loso with Diddy. So when I'm inviting Diddy to co-host, he has a whole nother thing. He's coming at Fab. Why you not drinking Ciroc no more?
Right.
That's what he's saying. Why we don't party no more? And look, he's pointing at it. He's like, and Fab, if you look, Fab is almost trying to throw the vodka away because he's like, and you know, he had a deal. So that's really what that was about. Like that's what, and the daddy part came from Mr. Lee, and. You know,
hold on, Nori. No, there was more to that.
Let's go. I'm in.
He said, "I like it. I like it when you scramble, like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping like that." So where did that part come from? No Dominicans were saying the scrambling and scraping.
Hey, that part? I can't. I don't know. I don't know, Daddy. I don't know. I was throwing off too.
Like in other words, the things that we saw on social media regarding Meek Mill and the dressed alike thing. That's not necessary.
Who dressed like the next man? Who's wearing Twizzy outfits?
Unless it was set up by your wife. Cut it out.
Exactly. People be having a problem with the men and women dressing like, be like, oh, they doing too much. They doing too much. You dress like your dude. Like, what's up? And I'm gonna put this on the table. I love Meek. I loved Meek's energy in the industry when everything was Trinidad James slow and boring, and then Meek came through like I've been riding with my own. I was like, oh, I'm doing all that. To see what he looked like now, it looked like a changed person. There's like, you don't look like the same Meek.
He definitely ain't acting like that no more at all. He in hiding, if you ask me. Ever since all of this stuff came out and they started to bring his name in it, and then people started clowning him, he just went radio silence. You ain't hearing.
And remember, he used to date Nicki. How about that? Remember, Nicki and him was dating and stuff. Like you
said something about it too. Now
used to bag the bees. I don't know what we could say, right? You used to bag the girls, and now you look like you're getting bagged. Like you look like what? How you get so close to a man? Like that close to a man that you in his pool. Like, yeah, daddy, happy birthday, daddy. You deserve it, daddy. What?
Yes, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, wait. Blake, you gonna let somebody talk to you like that?
Oh, hell no.
Okay then. So what we talking about?
But my
happy
thing,
birthday, daddy. If it's not a girl,
what we talking about?
Happy
but
birthday,
my thing
daddy.
is that look, one of the things that all right. So we heard that there was drugs in the baby oil. We heard that there was. We heard that he was selling guns state to state.
Well, we ain't never gonna get the evidence on that one. So,
you know the reason why there was no evidence on that one is because the prosecutors refused to put it into the argument because they knew it made them look silly.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there.
Remember when we heard that there was video of politicians that he had hid the cameras in the rooms so this way he could blackmail the politicians?
Yep, he got a lot of blackmail going on.
It was him who said it. I got a school bag of money much longer than yours. I'm just saying.
Okay.
There are a certain percentage of people in our community that understand the court system, and the only reason why they understand the court system is because the court system was trying to frame them. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that went through the court system was being framed, but what I am saying is that we all understand that the court system will make you look like Tony Montana. You got a traffic violation.
My bachelor's degree is in legal studies from John Jay. The reason why I never went into law and stuff like that is when I got close enough to it, I got a chance to see that it's about who has the best argument. It's not about what's true and what's not true.
Right.
Because when you stand
Exactly.
in front of somebody, if I'm standing in front of whoever and I call them a rapist in front of 12 people, you can't say strike that. You ain't hear it. You heard it.
Mhm.
You're a human being. You heard it. And it's going to implicate what you think. Right. So it's about who has the best argument. It's not about who's telling the truth, because you have us. People don't really think about it. You're looking at a whole court calendar. We live in New York City. You got a court calendar. How are you able to fit all these cases in? New cases. Like, how are you able to fit them in? Because you know it's going to take you from this time to that time for this to finish. They calendar your court case, and they already know, even though new court cases are happening, that they can fit all this stuff in their schedule because they know how long it's going to damn take. In that 3-week time, if you can't prove that I'm a liar, if you can't prove that what I said is not true, then apparently it's true. So in your 3 weeks, you say I did something in Baltimore.
And if you ain't got enough money to fight that, you dead.
So the whole thing is skewed, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like what did we hear? We heard, man, and people are gonna let these prosecutors off they're gonna let them go. They ain't gonna talk about them. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? At the end of the day, what did those get up there and say? They said, well, we have over 20 years of rapes, drug dealing from state to state. They said we had guns being sold from state to state, and were able to prove this, that he had a drug enterprise. But my point is you didn't hear. Where was the TD Jakes that everybody was talking about? Where was the Meek Mills that everybody was talking about? Man, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? We got a problem. And
you also have the court of opinions, which means that even though he don't get tried on those cases in court, right? They dismiss them because the world heard them. What's your life look like now?
There you go.
Nobody want to deal with you.
There
Nobody
you
wants
go.
to deal with you. And so it's the court system, but then the court of opinion, because we said so many things that you're going to be so untouchable. Nobody wants to associate their money with you because it's dirty, because the people that are going to buy the product don't want to buy it because of what they heard. So that's how it starts getting so devious, because we said all this stuff. Oh, we're going to drop those charges. But the rest of the world's talking about those charges. And so how does somebody who's going to be a sponsor?
All right. Clarissa, in case you've been busy or you just don't know what the hell is going on, this is the Lady Guru Show news for you. Clarissa Shields says she has secured $15 million for boxing match against Layla Ali. Boxing champion Clarissa Shields has officially secured the $15 million purse needed to lure legendary fighter Layla Ali out of retirement for what could be one of the biggest bouts in women's boxing history. Shields made the announcement in the video sent to TMZ on Thursday, confirming that the full purse Ali previously demanded is now secured. The investment comes in part from Ruben Branson's Win Records, who presented Shields with a massive $15 million check to cement the offer. Okay, girl. In other news, 911 call reporting Beyonce's equipment stolen now released. Atlanta police have released the 911 audio from July 8th in which Beyonce's choreographer Christopher Grant reported a break-in. The audio, Grant says, "Someone broke into my car, they stole my computer and everything," he adds. "It's really, really important information. I work with someone who is of a high status." The Jeep Wagoneer rental parked at Kroger Street Market Garage was left while Grant and dancer DeAndre Blue grabbed dinner. Returning about an hour later, they found the shattered rear window with missing suitcases. The stolen items included laptops, AirPod Max, designer sunglasses, clothing, and critically 5 thumb drives containing Beyonce's unreleased music, tour plans, and set lists. Yeah, in Atlanta, they will break into your okay? And in other news, Usher is one of the new faces of Ralph Lauren's fragrance new scent. Usher is showing off his skills as a pinchman. The Grammy Award winning singer is the new face of Ralph Lauren's fragrance brand new scent. Ralph Lauren's New York Eau de Parfum, which pays tribute to New York City. Speaking with People, Usher recalled how much Ralph Lauren brand means to him. It's a journey come true. Usher explained, I couldn't quite access Ralph. I couldn't quite access Ralph. There we go. My mom and family couldn't afford it, so to finally receive Ralph's shirt was a major treat as a kid. I feel proud of where I have gone over time with fashion. It's led me to this very timeless character in terms of how I dress, Usher said. Whether it's very formal or a little bit more relaxed and casual, it's always fresh. Well, that was in case you were busy, you just don't know what the hell is going on, Lady Guru Show news for you.
Yeah, Usher always has been doing that fashion thing with changing the clothes and stuff like that. Constantly. All right, everybody, it's been a good show. For everybody out there, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hey, Gurus, this is the Lady Guru Show, and we are out of here.